let's talk about really specifically the day that Mark went missing.
Sure.
November 25th, 1991. Mark is 11 years old. He went to school that day, correct?
Yes, he did. He was a student at the special services school, and there he had behavioral issues. He started out in Middle Township school system up until third grade, and then he really became too much for the public school system, and the parents and the schools agreed for him to go over to the alternative school, Calumet County Special Services School District. Mark is a student there, and he comes home. He gets picked up at his front door and dropped off at his front door every day for school by the Special Services School District. 2:30 p.m. He is dropped off, and Mom just came home or came home a few minutes after that from ShopRite, and Mark was watching cartoons in the living room.
Okay. Now, I'm just trying to go back here and look, but maybe you know off the top of your head. November 25th in 1991, was that the Monday after Thanksgiving or the Monday before, if you know?
It was the Monday before. That was Maureen's birthday is the 29th of November. So there were a lot of things culminating that week, positive things in the Himebaugh house, even after a summer of a lot of frayed interactions within the family. The father living in Cape May. Mark's father, Jody Himebaugh, didn't necessarily get along with Mark. He disciplined him stronger than he did Matthew. Jody was in the barbershop quartet, and Matthew was very musically talented, and so naturally he gravitated towards his father. And so when discipline issues, he come down harder on Mark than Matthew, and so there's a lot of tension between Mark and his father. Matthew and his father got along good.
What was
Mark and
the
his mother,
what was
Maureen,
the
got along
age
good.
difference? I'm sorry to interrupt you. What was the age
No,
difference between Matthew
that's
and
okay.
Mark?
Numerically, it was 1 year, but it was actually about 11 months that Matthew was older. He was 12, but we're getting ready to turn 13.
Okay. Now there was a some sort of a fire that day, correct? Either a brush
That,
fire or marsh fire.
yes, that is correct. Now, Mark there's three streets there, Rutledge, Eldridge, and Sunray, and they run towards the bay off of Bayshore Road. And I'm saying all this to lay out Mark's house. He had a single story house, and they had a bay window that faced south, and it's faced the reeds and the Phragmite grass towards the Lower Township water tower, if you're familiar with that.
Hmm.
Lower Township and Middle Township are divided by a creek, and right on the Lower Township side of the creek is where this brush fire, if you will, erupted around 2:50 p.m. on Monday afternoon.
So Mark sees it and tells his mom he wants to go take a better look at it. Is that right?
That is correct, and it also drew attention from around the county. Not a lot going on. It's a bitter cold day, but a bright, clear day. So the smoke emanating from the marsh grass was pluming. It was thick. The fire was not as big as the smoke portrayed it to be, but the smoke was enough that it shut down traffic on Bayshore Road, the main road in and out of Lower Township and Middle Township from Route 47. That was pretty significant to the local residents in that area at the time. So we have the brush fire, we have Bayshore Road shut down, and we have people coming into those three streets I mentioned earlier off of Bayshore to make a U-turn, go back to 47 and try and detour around the fire. At about 3 p.m., Maureen Himebaugh has her elderly neighbor Ann Woolery come over and ask Maureen if she would drive her to the Villas gas station and pick up her car, which was in for repair. Maureen did not know that there was a roadblock, and Mark is in the street. I believe he had just come back from walking down towards the fire, and he says to his mom he's going to get a closer look, and Maureen says, "Okay, honey, I'll be right back. I'm going to take Miss Woolery to get her car, and then we'll start dinner." And significantly in their plans that night, they were going to see Miss Kubiak, who was a former teacher of Mark at the Special Services School. And Miss Kubiak had two young girls that Mark kind of fancied. And I say that because a question arose whether Mark was running away from home. And he was going somewhere where he wanted to go that night, and he had no reason to run away. He was in good spirits with his mom, and he had something to look forward to that later that night. So the possibility of him running away was kind of, although we didn't know that as much at the time, the concern was that he may have been a runaway or hiding from starting the fire. None of that was true.